Hey, Lilanthia here. Today I am going to show you how to find the Dire Maul dungeon in World of Warcraft. We're starting out here in the great city of Orgrimmar, Horde side of course. Seeing my totally radical Blood Elf priest here riding her swift white hot strider. And we're going to start by heading out the front gates of Orgrimmar. And we're going to run all the way there. It's probably going to take a little bit of time, but I'm doing it this way so that you guys can see the actual path instead of having to rely on flight paths that you may not have, and we'll try and pick a couple up along the way. So of course the Orgrimmar main flight path is up there at the top. If you check out my video about, I think the Heirloom Vendors one shows how to get that one, since we run up to the top and pick up the flight towers. You'll always be able to find it by the little boot icon here that says Flight Master in your little tracking app. So I highly recommend keeping an eye out for that. So once we're out the front gates of Orgrimmar, that's going to pop us into, oh gosh, what's the name of this zone? It'll tell us in a second here. Okay, Durotar. I should have known that. And then we'll jam on down. And we're going to jog directly to the left here, pick up Nozzlepot's outpost. We're going to come across some rough terrain. There's wild boars everywhere. Luckily, I think everything in this zone should be yellow to you, regardless of your level, just as a way of making sure that new players don't have to deal with gnarly things. Come right across this way here. Just keep it rolling and rocking. You can hear those little talon prints. Lots of herbs along the way, some little elementals, things over here getting up to level 20. Always stop for herbs. Oops, I want the white one. That's our special Hawk Strider. Okay, and jamming right across. You might have to fight a bit, but all of the stuff that's out here is lower level than what you would find if you were trying to solo Dire Maul. This might be good if you just got into the game after a long time and are looking for a fun dungeon to run to build up a little bit of income. I'm personally a really big fan of running it to get a little bit of extra gold. A lot of herbs drop in there, a lot of unique greens and blues drop. You get Fellcloth. And usually a good stack of old world herbs to end the dungeon with as well. So there's a lot of great things to be had. It's a 3-part dungeon. There's a lot of cool transmogs in there as well if you're looking to try and get your transmog collection updated a little bit. I've probably run the dungeon over 1,000 times through its various incarnations over the years since I was working on the Insane back in Wrath of the Lich King, although I never finished it before the Cataclysm ruined the world. So anyway, we'll stop here, pick up this Flight Master. So you can see it would be thinking, typically I think it goes all the way down and around like this. I just don't want to have to go through Thousand Needles since you have to run over water to get there. It's really annoying. So instead we're going to pop up here into Stonetalon Mountains and then drop our way down into Feralus.
See you around, friend.
So from here, ooh, how do you get to Stonetalon again? Is it through Mulgore or is it through Ashenvale? I think it's through Ashenvale. We're going to do it through Ashenvale. Right? That doesn't seem right. Let me check that map again. Yeah, Ashenvale. Okay. A bunch of little goblins down here. Well, that one's got like scary teeth. Is that a gnoll? Briarthorn. Yeah, we'll skip it. But not the Mage Royal. Need that for Darkmoon cards for the Insane to still finish it. Let's get that Mage Royal. If you don't already have one, and you're like me and you like to adventure through dungeons and feel like you're making a ton of gold but actually not making any gold, I recommend picking up an app like TSM or I think the one I use is Auctioneer, something like that. And they'll give you tooltips to show you how much things are on the auction house as you pick them up. Kind of a cool way to stay in on what the value of the things in your bag are, so you can get excited when you get greens that are listed for 60,000 gold and then never sell. So that's kind of a fun and enlightening way to enjoy the game. More Venture Co. peons. As you can see, things are pretty barren out here. There's a little humor for everyone watching. I know some people will say, I come here for Lilanthia to tell me how to play the game. But what I really stay for is their totally sweet jokes. Okay, so as we're getting close here to this main road that goes through and ends at the crossroads and then keeps going, we're going to start jogging north a little bit, as we're going to pick up into Ashenvale. If you haven't been there, Ashenvale is kind of a really old school lore zone. It is where I believe Warsong Gulch takes place. It's like right over, yeah, Warsong. And so it's got an old school orcs versus night elf story where they're both battling it out for control of the zone to try and see who has access to its timber resources. Up in the top left-hand corner of Ashenvale, you'll also see like Black Fathom Deep, Stormgar Outpost. All of that is Naga lore. So basically the Nagas, if I remember correctly, split off from the Night Elves thousands upon thousands of years ago by worshipping a different god than Elune. I want to say Vashjir? That might be a zone in Cataclysm, though. Someone can fact check me on that. I admittedly am not the hugest lore guy, but Ashenvale is a very pretty zone. I really like the way it looks, all these purple trees and bushes and flowers and everything. So once we're in Ashenvale, we're just going to jog right and come up under Silverwind Refuge. The nice thing about being a higher level is you don't really have to worry about anything out here trying to gank you. There might be other players about, but as long as you keep your PvP flag off, then you're fine. And if you are on a server where you're always PvP flagged, well, that's kind of what you signed up for. So we'll just keep jamming through. Ooh, this I think is a graveyard. Let's jam on up and over. Do a little bit of running over here. Look at that giant tree. Man, the zone is beautiful. All the moss all over the ground. Big, huge trees everywhere. Mountains, whole Silverwing Grove. Oh, Ghost Paw Alpha. There's a wolf here that definitely wants to eat me. That's a PvP zone, so kind of give it some clearance. Especially if you're under level 120, so you don't want to get wrecked up by everything. We are going to pop up here to Silverwind Refuge, though, so that we can get the flight path there as well. Some life root, that's pretty nifty. Giving my bird a bath. Now there's a couple that you definitely want to keep an eye out for as far as these low level herbs. Strangle Kelp and Swift Thistle are usually worth a little bit more gold than average for the herbs. So I think it's a good idea to keep an eye out for those while you're doing your playthrough. So Blink Dragon, another Ghost Paw, Wild Steel Bloom. Alright, now we're cutting across here. The Wilds of Ashenvale. We're going to pop up in the backside of Silverwind Refuge, pick up the flight path, and then keep on going. Am I going to have to run along the water? I think I am. Should have brought a Death Knight. Oh, come on. You're a giant bird. Why won't you just fly up the walls? Okay, there we go. We made it. Silverwind Refuge. So you've got kind of your general town atmosphere here, all the random, usual assorted NPCs. Set up the Flight Master. Here we go. So far we've gone from Duratar to Nozzlepots. We did skip the Morshan Ramparts and went straight to Silverwind. The Morshan Ramparts, we ran through it, and I forgot to mention that it was a flight path there. Sorry about that. I hope you picked it up without me having to say anything. Boy. Alright. Let's keep it on rolling here. We're about to drop down into Stonetalon Mountain, which is a giant kerfluffle of a zone. We'll head up Cromgar Fortress, and then we'll head out the bottom into Desolus. Okay, here we are. Starting to head south now. You'll notice the terrain change. It's a weird feature of World of Warcraft, but they The terrains are usually rather stark changes, typically dotted out by mountain ranges. Let's start heading on down here. So it's Talon Deep Pass. I really don't know much about the lore of Stonetalon, aside from that the quests all kind of focus on big, huge machinery, and once again fighting off the Alliance. I think you end up going after some Venture Co. folks. Up here at Stonetalon Peak, it looks like there must be something interesting there. Makes me almost wonder if there's like a dragon shrine up there or something. Sounds like another idea for a cool video, though. Explore all the dragon shrines, even though the dragons are all gone. Looks like there's some war song supplies. You can hear those horde horns in the background. Brr, brr. Okay, so let's see here. What do you got for this herb? It's a Mage Royal. I don't think I'm going to make you guys wait for me to get that Mage Royal. Alright, across this rickety bridge. This looks like it can't be safe. Notice how it's all bolted down in the center, and also... Wow. Ugh. There's no supports on the side either. So that just seems really unsafe. I'm gonna... Okay. So then we're just about to Cromgar Fortress. Gonna run up this little hill here. Good defensive position. Make sure you're on a hilltop. Having the high ground's always good in combat, of course. Lots of little pets around here. Rabid Nut Varmin's 5,000. That sounds like it must be kind of a cool one. It's like a Mechano Squirrel, probably. And then, of course, we've got the Flight Master here, Cornwall the Swift. So we're getting close. So we picked up Silverwind Refuge. We've got Morshan Ramparts. Yeah, that one. Which actually looks like it'll just go right through. So now we can start jamming over to Sunrock Retreat and then start heading down. So, because I am a priest... Oh, I may not have to. I was actually going to say I'm just going to jump off the side here. You may not want to do that yourself. But I'm full of bad habits. We're just going to go like that. Throw a levitate out. Oh. Northwatch Encroachers, huh? Look at this, like, Alliance encampment. You guys are lucky I'm in a hurry. So we'll head back down here and meet up with the main road. Of course, keeping an eye out for any, like, rares or elites. Ooh, this guy looks like he's special. He's got a name. Let's make him eat some pendants real quick. 13 silver. Alright, we did it. We're rich. Time to buy a new epic mount. Windshear Crag. And of course, we can just dip right out the bottom here. And then we'll pick up Malacca Jin. So actually, we're skipping Sunrock Retreat as well. Although, that looks like it's going to put us under Thunder Bluff. We're going the wrong way. We're going to head back over here. So we're going to cut across, probably through these mountains and get up to Sunrock Retreat. I am sorry that I misled. Got a Briar Thorn and a whole bunch of Venom Spitter hatchlings. I got all these little spiders all over the place. If you had arachnophobia, I think this would be a pretty crummy place to hang out. Deep moss creepers. But definitely don't forget that farming spiders yields all those totally sweet spider cloths so that you can build your totally radical spider silk boots at level 21. Of course, these guys will scale down. Girls? I think some of them are girls. Alright. Should be able to pass right through here. Some Kalendor Eagles. So you can see they're imbibing this region with freedom. Keep up the good work. Some Rams. Alright, we're almost to the Sunrock Retreat. So another Wild Steel Bloom. Tin Vein. I'd probably be a lot more concerned if I had mining on this tune, since mining is kind of the way to make some extra cash. I'm all about low-level mining. Okay, let's jump in here. So it looks like the flight path guy. I think he's like up here on the side. Surprised I don't see the icon. Makes me wonder, maybe it got PvP'd out. It should be right here. Yep, they would be right in this little region right here, I believe. Huh, somebody came out here and killed the Flight Master. Well, Sunrock Retreat has one. Probably a good one to come by and get. Gives you easy access to the rest of the map. Alright, let's go ahead and continue. We're going to ignore this wild steel bloom even though we really want it. Things I do for you guys. Alright, so we're going to jaunt through Sishir Canyon. Sounds like a Naga name, but this is not a Naga zone. So, that's kind of strange. Okay, keep jamming through. Look at this neat architecture right here. It's like a leaning tower of Alliance. It's copper. Highborn Sorcerer, huh? Ooh. Bet they drop cool stuff. I really like all the Highborn clothes. Okay, there you go. Emerald Spirits. Okay, well we're just gonna keep jamming. We don't want to cause a giant war here. Even though, oh, they're so tightly clustered. They're so tightly clustered. I can't not do it. Look at all this sweet, sweet cloth. No greens though. Never find greens off world mobs anymore. Sad. Oh, look at this. The entire left half of this map looks like it's been burned to a crisp. It definitely didn't used to be that way. Far Watcher's Glen. Now let's keep on jamming down the mountainside. So the good news is once you get the flight paths, this will take like 10 minutes. Sister Ribbon. Here, take this. I'm gonna tweet this at my friend. I highly recommend you check out her Twitter if you're a Twitter person. She does webcomics, all kinds of graphic arts. She's amazing and wonderful, and I just am blown away by how she constantly challenges herself to be better and better at her craft. She uses a character that's similarly named, so I thought that was interesting. How much are these gloves worth? 2,000 gold gloves, alright. I love the idea of putting these on the auction house 30 times and having them never sell. Okay, we're almost to Desolus. We're just about to come over the pass, and everything is going to turn white for some reason. Different kinds of minerals or what haves when the Titans made this place for the first time. Okay, so Furian's Post is going to probably be the only one we're going to pick up here. Lots of interesting points here, though. Maradon, pretty great dungeon. Lots of ghost mushrooms in there if you're into ghost mushrooms. Another fun one that I like to kind of casually farm just to make some extra cash. Highly recommend. Alright, we're gonna jam over the mountains here, save a little bit of time. Ooh, some Goldthorn. Definitely if you're lower level, keep an eye out for these guys. They travel in what seems kind of tightly clustered, so good to be careful. Ooh, maybe I can't get through here. Well, let's try jamming up this. Also, there's like giant dinosaurs with lightning all over this map, which is kind of cool. There's only, what, one other map that has dinosaurs on it? I believe that is, oh gosh, not Silithus, Ungaro Crater. Ungaro Crater is a pretty beautiful zone. Definitely was missing a lot of questing when I first leveled up, though. You kind of went there to do the 2 or 3 quests that it had, maybe farm a couple of things for your Molten Core set. And then I think there was like a rare mount or pet that you could get there. My, how this game has changed. Alright, and as you see, we're coming up here on a little outpost. where
I have
got some
one of
blood
a
elves
kind.
that are hanging
Enemies
out.
will fall.
Check and make sure they don't have anything cool in their inventories. They
Hold your
don't.
head high.
Then we'll talk to
Our enemies will fall.
Naramir, who wants our enemies to fall. Get Furian's Post, which, as you see, goes almost directly to Camp Mahache,
The reckoning is at hand.
which is where we're going to be headed next. You can pick up these neutral outposts here, like Cenarian Wildlands. Yeah, why not? Let's go ahead and grab Cenarian. Well, it is kind of out of the way. I think we're just going to jam straight south here. I'm going to check the Twitters. Alright. Okay, catching up on some spectral foxing here. There we go. Alright. Looks like my associate Abysmal Spectre is working on some updates to his Sultai Magic the Gathering deck. Oh, goodness, goodness. Whoa! Levitate! Oh! Wow, that's why you should look where you're going. So there's a giant hole in the ground right here that we just fell down. Hopefully we can get back out. Right here, maybe? Oh, that was annoying and certainly not the fastest way to do this. Okay, at least it's shallow right here. I think we just keep jamming right down the middle. And there's a road back up. Alright, we did it. So, maybe don't do that. That was my mistake. If you've got, like, a fall speed reduction, it may not be a slow way to do it, so it might be fine. I don't know. There's a goblin here with a quest. So now we're just coming down on Manorock Cove. Manorock Coven! Oh. That means there's, like, witches there, right? I see a bunch of green fire. That's never a good sign. Okay. Yeah, there's like a whole bunch of infernals and stuff. Okay, what do we got here? Grom's blood. Oh, and a roach. Okay, there we go. So now we jam over to the left here. We'll just keep following the road. Jamming on down the roads we go. Dun 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 dun, Manorock Coven. Now we're back into the Desolus. There's a lake right here with a desert spider. This is why I'm not a recording artist. Scorpion Sashi Lasher. Alright. We're getting very close. We're through Desolus almost. So it should only take us about 30 minutes in total to get there. We'll be passing Gelka's village. These guys give you some rep. Oh, they don't anymore. Okay. It used to be if you killed the centaurs here, you could rep up with one and not the other. And there was absolutely no reason to waste your time with it. And there was not enough of them to get to Exalted. It was something that felt like maybe it was an unfinished part of the game. Centaurs. Centaurs everywhere. Alright, and look at this. Everything's all green and lush all of a sudden. We must be in Feralis. Now, Feralis is in my probably top 5 zones in the game. My favorite is the Hinterlands. That place is absolutely stunning to me. Feralis, of course, very green, beautiful as well. I'd probably have to figure out a ranking for my other ones. Like, just offhand, the Hinterlands, Feralis, and then I want to say Eastern Plaguelands, the Silver Pine Forest, and the Blood Elf area that I can't remember the name of off the top of my head for some reason. But we can check. That'd be really easy to find out. Eversong Woods, of course. Eversong Woods, Silver Pine Forest, the Hinterlands, which is right here. Hillsbrad's pretty cool too. So, A lot of good zones out here. Sweet. Alright, so now we're kind of on cruise control for cool. We're just going to keep on jamming down, check out the herbs as they come by. In a different world, I would be stopping and picking up absolutely every single one of them. So you can see Dire Maul's right down here. We're going to stop by the Feather Moon Stronghold or Stone Maul Hold here, pick up that flight path. Blindweed, okay. Blindweed seems to grow near the waterways. Alright, here we go. Fade Leaf again. This totally sick mountain road coming up here. Also, if you're ever bored, Ruins of Feather Moon, pretty cool place to hang out. We definitely skipped this horde camp up here, Camp Ataya. I actually don't think I've ever been there. Weird. Just look at this. Look at these beautiful winding trails. All of this life. Let's take a moment to appreciate the music in the zone. Okay, wait. I guess I spoke too soon. Khadgar's Whisker, Khadgar's Whisker. Alright. There we go. Almost here. And Zorgard Fransdale, he's got a quest for you. So then that's the Alliance hub in the zone. It's huge, it's beautiful, there's a lot of just awesome stuff going on over there. There's a vendor for the Ghost Dye alchemy recipe, which allows you to make a bunch of really neat tailoring patterns, which are kind of hard to come by. The Horde version for it is going to be over here in Camp Majachi. Let's go ahead and jump on up here to Stone Maul Hold, where these ogres are hanging. So like an apprentice hexer. Blacksmithing supplies, alright. And this is also probably your closest vendor spot if you don't already have your vendor mount. If you decide to go farm this region, we'll go and talk to Mergek. Mergek gives us more flight path. And now we can go all the way from Orgimmar over to Ashenvale, into Stonetalon, down into Desolus, and straight to Stone Maul Hold. So that's it. Let's go ahead and just run in real quick and grab the entrance to Dire Maul. There's actually several entrances to Dire Maul, so that's going to be kind of cool to check out. Let's see here. Oops. Losing my mic. Alright. So we'll continue down the main path here. We're just going to come right in the front. There's an iron for bear. So the first thing you're going to notice about Dire Maul is there's going to be ogres. Ogres everywhere. Now split up into 3 different pieces. Dire Maul was it southeast and north, I believe. We're going to end up seeing the location entrances for all 3 of them. Oh, look, we got some lightning paw over there. Fade Leaf, okay. Longtooth Runner, Longtooth Runner. First coming right up here on the side of the entrance. Fade Leaf, cool. Alright, another Fairy Dragon. Gordok Hyena, Gordok Enforcer. There's a bunch of little nether Fairy Dragons around here. It's pretty cool pets. Can head up the entrance. So, more ogres. So the first Dire Maul entrance that you come across is right here in this open foyer here in Eldrith Row. Another Fairy Dragon. If you're really into pets, this could be a cool place to come look for those. Oops, Hyena got me. I'll just keep running though. And there's a panda. Hi panda. Don't worry, I won't hurt you. Another enforcer. And so it splits right here. You can go left, you can go right. So we're going to go right first. Oh, the Draenei, they are unknown. Some more Gordok Ogre Mages. Gordok Maulers. Mauler. And right over here we've got a little tunnel off to the side. And this is going to take us into the first portion of Dire Maul. I'm going to go ahead and zone into it just so you can see which entrance it is. Alright, here we go. Alright, we're in Dire Maul. This looks like east. Start out in the Warpwood Quarter. You can see there's ghost mushrooms and stuff all over the place. Lots of animated plants. It's a pretty cool one. Alright, let's jam back out. Or no, this is south, right? I can't check it on Group Finder anymore. Either way, that's the first one.
I don't have a target.
Once we get out of this tunnel, we can mount back up. Now here, just in the interest of this not taking a year, I am going to flying mount here because it's a little bit faster. Now on the other side, there's no entrance. Just a potential for a rare spawn down here. And that's about it. And then we'll fly back here. One of these lets us go back out to the courtyard. Doesn't it? Yeah, no. I must be misremembering something here. From what I remember, you don't have to fly over it. Something not quite right here. None of these open. What's this dire pool do? Well, here's hoping you've got flying then if you're watching this video. That is a change. I'm wondering if you have to go all the way through. Ah, here it is. It's inset. Okay. They got me. To come through this little inset here. Okay. So now there's the arena here, the Dire Maul Commons. There's now always another fairy dragon sitting in the middle here whenever I come by. Used to be the rares would spawn there every 6 hours and drop different cool items. There's a lot of little passageways down here. And a lot of these are exits for the different parts of Dire Maul, and some of them are entrances as well. Since Dire Maul has more exits than your average dungeon does. This little room underneath here, if I remember correctly, doesn't really do anything anymore. Might be like a place where there's some rare spawns hanging out. Since that seems to be what a lot of unused spaces got turned into, is just rare spawn hangouts. But nothing rare down here. So we'll come back up. Inside of the arena. So then, we go off to one side here. We've got another Dire Maul entrance. So this is left as you're facing the arena. And this is the Capital Gardens, which is the second part of Dire Maul. So that's what we would call Dire Maul East. Because it's on the east side. Yeah, neat. Okay. As you can see, there's a lot of Night Elf statuary around, even though this is definitely an ogre afflicted area. If you end up farming this area, I recommend bringing a tune that has both mining and herbalism, as there are plenty of nodes for both in each of the dungeons. A lot of rich thorium, kind of a cash cow there too. And then this is Dire Maul proper. This is the last installment of it, or as we would like to call it, Dire Maul North. I guess they're calling it Gordok Commons now. This is where you defeat the King Gordok and become the King of the High Maul. Tons of bosses. This little weird starey doodad. You can make an ogre costume. And back in the day, it connected through here to the second dungeon. And that was also where you turned in all your Chandralar books, which you would have to run in and out to get your rep with Chandralar. And it was a giant pain in the butt. And you would have to run this dungeon thousands of times to get enough because they were bind on pickup, and it was terrible. And perfect black diamonds and all that. Oof, never again. Kind of glad that rep grind is gone. Especially since all it really got you back then was shoulder enchants. So by itself, it really wasn't worth it. Now on the west end here, I believe this is the alternate engine for Dire Maul South. Yes, this is the alternate entrance for it, where you can find your quests and such. Whole bunches of different neat things to loot. Tons of nice AoE mobs. So there you go. That's how you find Dire Maul, all of the entrances, and get to have a really cool and fun dungeon experience. So definitely thank you very much for watching through all this with you. I know it was kind of a long video, but we covered a lot of ground. And hey, I'll see you in the next one. Look forward to it.